Have you ever genuinely feared for your life? Last summer, me and my girlfriend Clara went hiking in the Adirondacks. We'd been dating for like 8 months, and she was always up for adventure stuff. We packed light, just water bottles and some granola bars. The plan was to hike for a few hours and head back before dark. Around 3 in the afternoon, we spotted this cabin through the trees. It looked straight out of a horror movie. Windows were busted, roof half caved in, weird symbols carved into the wooden walls. Clara took one look and said we should keep walking, but I was curious. Plus, it was getting cloudy and looked like rain. We pushed open the front door and it creaked like something from a haunted house. Inside was dusty as hell. Old furniture covered in sheets, spider webs everywhere. Clara kept checking her phone but had no signal. She wanted to leave, but I convinced her to stay since it was getting dark outside. While she unpacked our stuff, I wandered into this side room. That's where I found it. This metal chest sitting in the corner with a combination lock. There was a rusty tag hanging from it that said, "Do not open. 911 equals death." I laughed, thinking someone was messing around. Clara came over and read it too. She got this worried look and said we needed to get out of there right now, but I couldn't stop thinking about what was inside. I mean, who puts a warning like that on a random box? I started searching the cabin for clues. Clara sat by the door with her backpack on, ready to bolt. After like 20 minutes, I found numbers scratched into the bottom of this broken table, 4-7-2. My hands were shaking when I tried the combination. The lock clicked open. Inside was this blood-stained notebook, some old coins, and a VHS tape. The notebook had weird drawings and writing I couldn't understand. The pages felt crusty, like they'd been wet and dried a bunch of times. I took pictures with my phone and put everything back. Clara was pacing by then, telling me I was an idiot. Around midnight, we heard knocking on the front door. 3 slow knocks. I grabbed our flashlight and opened it, but nobody was there. Just darkness and wind. Clara grabbed my arm and whispered that we needed to leave right then, but I told her it was probably just a branch hitting the door. 10 minutes later, more knocking, this time from the back door. Clara was practically hyperventilating. I checked again and found nothing. Then we heard tapping on the side window. Not wind tapping, deliberate tapping like someone using their knuckles. That's when we both lost it. We grabbed our stuff and ran out the front door into the woods. I turned on my phone flashlight and we just ran. Clara was crying and stumbling behind me. We ran until the sun came up. When we finally stopped, we were completely lost. It took us 6 hours to find our way back to the main trail. We drove straight to the ranger station and told them what happened. The ranger listened to our story, then frowned and said, "That cabin's not on any map anymore. Hasn't been for 15 years. When I got home, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I searched online for anything about abandoned cabins in that area. Finally found this old newspaper article from 2009. A guy named Tom Briggs had been murdered in a cabin by his 3 friends. They claimed he'd become possessed after finding some kind of chest. The last thing Tom wrote in his journal before he died was, "He who unlocks the code opens the door." Clara and I broke up 2 weeks later. She said I was obsessed and wouldn't drop it, but I keep thinking about those knocks. How they moved around the cabin like someone was circling it, and how the ranger said that place didn't exist anymore.